welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Did the real North Melbourne stand up yesterday? Potentially, they were fantastic in the second half against the GWS Giants, Bill Brownless, who tested them in the first half of the game.
They did indeed. 75-point win the third quarter, unbelievable. Big Drew kicked 4 of those 5 in that quarter. Ben Cunnington was tough and hard. Boomer outstanding. Bastanak, all the midfielders, all the experienced boys stood up. And Toby Green, 35, he had 26 at half time. Heath Shaw was good. Big Jonathan Patton kicked a couple there in the second quarter. But it'd be a happy captain, I think, that joins us here today, Andrew Swallow, because that was a really good win, Spitter.
Yeah, it was a lot better than a previous couple of weeks. You know, still a little bit to work on, but I think in the second half we sort of got back to playing some good footy, got up on the outlets, and you know, when we actually went forward, we found the big Joey Petrie down there.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he clunked a few.
Were you concerned at half-time? There was only 4 points in it, and as I said, Toby Green had 26 touches, Heath Shaw had 20. They were going okay.
Yeah, I wasn't overly concerned because I thought we were still winning the ball in the middle. I thought we were pretty dominant in there all day. Big Goldie gave us a first use of the footy, but just probably a couple of indiscretions, a couple of free kicks which cost us, and they got back in the game. And
there was the experienced boys in that third quarter where you kicked 8 goals to 1 behind, yourself and Bastanak halves, Zeeble, Drewy kicked 4, and Ben Cunnington was really good too.
Yeah, I think the coach really put it on to Cunners this week to go and really take the game on and back himself, and we put him in the slot a lot of the day, and to finish with 3 and 28 touches, a great result.
Andrew, Aaron Black was subbed out yesterday, and you've tried Dor. Dor just hasn't worked the last few weeks. Ben Brown, is it just time that you give him the rest of the year to play that secondary target to Drew Petrie?
Yeah, I think he's showed some really good signs. I think we played him earlier on. He got a couple of games in, hurt a finger, went out, and Madge got another opportunity. But he's probably our most natural forward. He runs and jumps at the footy. He just needs some more games into him.
Almost like if a player plays a good quarter, they get confidence. Ryan Bastanak last week hadn't had much of a touch at half time. Had, I think, 13 touches in the third quarter against Geelong. He hadn't had above 20 disposals for the previous, I think, 8 weeks before that. Yesterday he was really good again. It's almost like it's so easy to get your confidence up to turn around and play some good footy.
It is. You know, he's sort of been playing in a couple of different positions. He's played him off half forward, but the way we set up on the weekend was pretty simple. 4 insiders, and we just rotated and yeah, I thought he was terrific. He's just got to work on the things that we need him to do for the team, and when he does them, he's a great player for us.
How are you feeling? How's the body? How's the Achilles?
Body's getting there, so yeah, feeling better every week, and I think I'm building towards hopefully a pretty big September.
Yep. Andrew, both Lordo and I guess myself have been very critical of your team in the last few weeks, that you're not a Group 1 team, that you don't belong in the same conversation as the teams that hang at the top of the ladder. Do you think that's a harsh assessment, or do you think it's reality given your performances?
No, I think it's reality. I think you're spot on. We've shown our best is very good, but to be the best sides, the Sydney, the Hawthorns, Geelong's, you've got to do it week in, week out. We saw Geelong last night just find a way to win, and we're not there at the moment. We know we can really challenge, but when we actually get that consistency and we knock off the teams week in, week out, we'll be talked about in those sort of teams.
Have you got too many of the same type of midfielder? Is the midfield mix a challenge between the inside types and the outside?
Oh, we think we've got some great insiders. I think getting Daniel Wells back will really help, and I think he's playing today for North Ballarat, which will be great to see him back. Levi Greenwood, we missed him on the weekend, but he probably gives us a bit of a different mix because he can run and get outside. So yeah, there's going to be a few challenges with selection coming up, which is a good thing. Nathan Grimer was back on the weekend, so starting to get a few players back, which is going to help with trying to find that right mix going forward.
What about a player like Jared Waite? There's been a few murmurings about North Melbourne and Jared Waite possibly next year. Can you see him fitting into your side somewhere?
I think with any quality player, you can always find a spot, and he show he can take a mark. We still think we've got some great forwards down there. Big Joey, hasn't had probably the greatest season by his standards, but he's starting to really hit some form now, and hopefully, Aaron Black can get back to the form he showed last year, and Benny Brown and Majak Dor can really hold down that spot. But yeah, we'd be open to anyone who can help us.
As captain, I'm presuming you were part of the Jared Waite meeting?
I I didn't even know there was a meeting.
I think he's on the record that saying the Kangaroos have met him, and the coach certainly didn't discount that he had.
Okay, yeah, I've got no idea. So.
You weren't part of it?
No, I wasn't part of it at all.
Kane Turner yesterday played his first game. He's 18. He's the youngest player on the list. 12 disposals. Kicked a goal with his second kick here.
Boomer was 8 months old when he was born, Bill.
And
Wow.
yeah, and I think Boomer's twice his age. Well, he is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
He's a terrific kid. You know, I remember our recruiter Bryce Lewis showed us some tape beforehand because he was worried we were going to laugh at this kid when he came in because he was so small and skinny. But you let a look at his tape and he was so courageous. You know, he'd probably be the most courageous kid on our list. You know, you talk about Jack Seaborg as blokes who, you know, just go at the footy, but they've probably got 20, 30 kilos on this kid. So, you know, his form in the VFL has been terrific and got rewarded on the weekend and it was great to see.
And his decision-making under pressure was exactly what you want.
Yeah, he's terrific. And, you know, we probably missed another, you know, small forward buzzing around and, you know, Robbie Nars was really important for us in those sort of middle rounds of the year. But with him going out, we probably haven't had that extra player to really break the lines and give us a bit of zip and pressure in the forward line. And I thought he was really good.
Good energy. He had good energy. That's what he did have. I tell you what, speaking of Boomer, a popular win by Boomer during the week. Now, have a listen to this. This is at North Melbourne.
This is not a joke. Boomer.
He won a car and a Mazda, LC during the week. The boys and I assume all the supporters put in for it. Not that popular?
No, not popular at all. So probably the one bloke who was going to, you didn't want it to win, it was him. He's got too much money, old Boomer.
He joins us next, by the way, on TAC Cup Future Stars. We'll put that to him this afternoon.
Lindsay Thomas was under siege through the week. Didn't have a great game yesterday. Has it got to him? And did you have to speak to him at all about it?
It definitely got brought up in the meeting.
Yeah.
You know, Brad really laid the law down to him, and you know, because he does things in a game where he. You know, I think on the weekend you saw that ball where he flew for it and how courageous he is. So we just want him to play the same way week in, week out. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. But yeah, he probably didn't have his best game, but I still thought he was serviceable.
Your votes, Bill?
There they are there, bang. Thought Ben Cunnington was very, very good. Boomer Harvey,
Phoning him in.
Drew Petrie and Toby Green, who had 35 touches, was the Giants' best player.
Thanks very much for coming in. We appreciate it. Good luck for the run into September.
Cheers. Thanks.